What's up, everybody, and welcome to another very special episode of the XP Podcast. This is our fantasy special finale. I'm one of your hosts, Mike C., head of Ponyboy Studios, and joining me along this quest is the owner and operator of Useless Trivia Inc., the man, the myth, the legend himself, Big Daddy DJK. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
How you been?
Not bad.
How's the kid?
Um, Growing at an alarming rate, and finally letting me get back to some hobby stuff some nights. So, looking forward to hopefully starting the game a little bit more again.
Well, we'll get into what you've been doing in a second. Also joining us, the copyright claim target himself, Mr. Pinball Worthy Morgan, owner of Bungie Publishing. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Nothing much. How about you guys?
I'm doing good. And last but certainly not least, the head honcho over at the Games Pass Publishing, the Birdman himself, Logan B. What's going on, man?
What's up, everybody? Here, back again. Only been 2 days since we recorded last, but I'm excited to not really be excited because of my horrible year. But I'm excited for next year, and I'm ready to talk about the journey of almost getting second place.
All right, yes, I can't wait. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's not feed around the bush. If you didn't know, this is the Fantasy Special, a mini series where all of us here at the Experience Point sit down throughout the year and talk about our fantasy league for video games, all the new releases, how they scored, and how we ended up in the rankings. If you enjoy this, please do us a favor and check out the regular XP podcast, our weekly video game and pop culture news podcast, where Logan and myself sit down with y'all and talk about all the news stories and happenings inside and out of the video game world. We post a new episode each and every week, so you can listen to it whenever you want. You can find us on most of the popular podcasting services, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. If you enjoy what we're doing here on the XP Podcast, please support us over on our Patreon, where you get to be a part of our weekly discussions and give us your opinions on everything we talk about and everything we don't. You'll also be able to find all of our uploads there as well, along with any exclusive episodes we may post. Links for that, as always, are in the description down below, or you can simply go to patreon.com and search Experience Point, spelled capital X, capital PERIENCEPOINT. However, if you don't have any money to send our way, don't worry. We still love and appreciate you for listening to us and being a part of what is hopefully a growing community. You can also go over to our YouTube channel, where you can get this show and all of our shows in video format. If you do, please don't forget to give us a like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification icon so you can be aware of everything we post when we decide to post it. New episode reminders for you. Out now is our God of War Ragnarok review, where Logan and myself sit down and talk for about 2 hours about everything that we loved and some of the things we didn't like about God of War Ragnarok. You have both the review and the spoiler cast within that episode, so please go check that out. Episode 32 of the XP Podcast is up and airing to the public. That is where we talk about the initial impressions we had from God of War Ragnarok throughout the first week of play, and also, a live reaction to this year's Game Awards 2022 is live. It's doing well. People seem to be enjoying it. Logan, DJ, and myself all sat down and reacted to the Game Awards live. You could go see what we have to think about that. And the special guest appearance by Bill Clinton himself was in there. All right. With all that out of the way, let's get in the show. We start with always what is called the rundown here, where we catch up on all things pop culture that we've been doing, whether that be gaming, TV shows, movies, books, and comics. It doesn't matter to us because we like it all and love to talk about it. So I'm going to skip you, Logan, because it's been 2 days since we talked. So I'm betting you're playing The Witcher. But, Mr. DJ, what have you been working on, man?
I'm in the process of platinuming Untitled Goose Game. I literally only have it's our least favorite type of trophy. It's speed running, but it's a breakdown speed run, so there's 4 areas to conquer, and you have to speed run each area, so like you can do it incrementally. So I've got literally 5 trophies left to beat it. Hopped on, tried Warzone by myself the other night when I hopped on to talk to Worthy in game a little bit. It was interesting. It was crazy. Definitely can't wait to hop on and finally drop in with you guys, hopefully soon. outside of that, I haven't gone to any movies lately, um, or really watched any. Started Ted Lasso, um, and then not much else. Really just been kind of working and being an adult. So always a blast. Oh, and I've been slowly but surely conquering Pokemon Violet, so I can hopefully one day soon trade you all the opposite version Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm just sitting over here waiting. It's like Horizon, sitting over here waiting.
Oh God.
All right, only one update for me. I started watching a new show on Netflix called The Recruit. 4 episodes in so far. Actually, really good. If you guys like spy thrillers with some humor out there, go and check it out. Don't have much to say because I'm not even halfway through it yet. So, but to the man who comes in every once in a blue moon and graces us with his presence, Mr. Worthy Morgan. What, sir, have you been doing? Mr. Full House, I guess we would have to say over there. So, what have you been working on, man?
Oh, mostly. Been dealing with the kids. I actually do have a full house. I actually do have the older kids over today, which if they better stay quiet during this. But mostly, I've I really haven't done anything since I was sick for like a week and a half. But mostly, what I've been playing video game wise, a little bit since I've been sick. I've been playing the Pokemon Scarlet, and Brittany's been playing the Pokemon Violet, Scarlet or Violet, which the other one.
Violet,
Um,
yes, you are
yeah.
correct. So, what do you think, man? Do you you're not as critical as Logan, DJ, and myself on here, but I was fairly critical of it in our impressions. If you haven't got a chance to check it out, go. Wait,
I
no, don't go because it hasn't been posted yet. So, but you'll hear about that shortly. So,
well, what I really I I like it, but I don't. I wish it had a little bit more, sort of a little bit directive to go because I played some of the harder gyms first, and then I get towards the end, and I'm literally playing. The last gym I played was level 16. That was a
that's
bit.
literally that's literally the first gym. That's literally the first gym.
Well, it
Uh,
was the. I didn't. I went left instead of right, and it was that little. It was the. I forget which one it was. It was.
well, the grass and the bug one are the first two ones you're supposed to go to.
Yeah. It just. It. I hated having. I really hate going into a part of the game that I was so much higher leveled, and I actually went back and I went back. I went into my box and grabbed lower level Pokemon, so I didn't feel so bad.
That's that's funny. That's exactly what I did. But no, I hear what you're saying. It's coming from an older fan. We're all
Mhm.
older fans here. Outside of Logan, I do miss the structure a little bit. But like I've been talking to Logan about, well, I still don't really love the game or anything like that. I've fallen into a deep like with the game. It clicked with me. For those of you out there, I'm now 63, 64 hours into the game. So I've put my fair share of time into it, and in the last 15 hours or so, I think the game is fantastic. It still looks like shit and runs like shit. That's never gonna change apparently. Thank you Nintendo and Game Freak for that. But the ending of this game is really cool, and some cool stuff happens. And how good that ending was has kept me playing through the end game and doing the raids and doing all the end game stuff. I've now finished every single thing of end game stuff. The only thing I have left is to do the repeatable things. So I've finished every sort of progression in the game. And I can say, like I said on the episode, that if this game looked good and ran good, it would easily be in my top five. But that's not the case, so it's not. But overall, I have fallen into a deep like with the game, and I have enjoyed most of my time, most of my 64 hours outside of seeing 1 frame a second on my TV. So, DJ, what do you think about it all, man?
Yeah. I mean, I I kind of went like I went off to the right, so I started on the easier side, but I've really bounced around, and it just like I've hit walls here and there where it's like, um I get more hyper focused on grinding because that's in a Pokemon game, that's what I'm used to. So like a bunch of my Pokemon are to the point where I can barely control them because they're higher than what my badges will let me control. So like a couple of my Pokemon won't listen to me sometimes, and it also really makes it kind of hard to um like fill out the Pokédex when there's Pokemon in certain areas that you are way way higher level than. But I mean, other than that, the like trials beforehand are very interesting. Um, just a unique twist on it. I do like the picnicking and making the sandwiches is kind of a more fun mini game than the making the curry was. Um, I also I haven't made an egg yet, because you can only do that on the picnics. So I also really haven't attempted it yet though. So because I spent 20 minutes before, or probably a good hour worth of game time looking for a Ditto that I could never get to materialize. So I'm still kind of working on that. I'm actually in the process of beating the water gym right now. And then like it's playing out interesting. Didn't half the time the text boxes are really just like monotonous and stuff you don't really need information from. Um, but like my first star raid, I just spammed through the text box, didn't read him, and then I'm doing a fire type raid with 2 fire Pokemon and an electric Pokemon, and it was really challenging. But since then, now that I know like the type breakdown and stuff like that, and or that I'm getting 3 Pokemon to use to my advantage, like I've just been steamrolling stuff, and I think if they could have combined some of this game with some of the stuff they did in Arceus, I think it could have definitely been the best like generational game since any of the Gen 2 games we got, whether it's the remakes or the originals. Like Gen 2 is still my top Pokemon game, but I've been enjoying this a
Yeah,
decent amount.
still waiting on that Soul Silver remake or
Oh,
just basic Gen
so
2
much.
remake. Can't freaking wait. But Logan, have you been doing anything in the past 2 days since we talked?
Play more Witcher. That's pretty much it.
Yep,
So
you were playing that as we were working through some technical difficulties before the show. Well, we weren't. Worthy was, but
Yeah.
all right.
This will make you happy, Mike.
What's that?
I've started playing the God of War.
Hell yeah!
oh,
about
hey,
time.
all right.
Did you listen to the first part of Logan and I's review that we just posted? Probably not, but that's okay.
It's not the new one. It's
Oh,
the
oh my God! You haven't played 2018?
no, I haven't.
Oh, you are in for a wild ride. I wish I was you. I wish I could go back and experience these things for the first time. So, I saw a TikTok today of a guy watching the scene in No Way Home where oh, how do I say this without spoiling it? Where Andrew redeems himself, and I wish I could watch that scene again for the first time. I desperately wish I could. So, but all right, let's go ahead and jump in that. If no one else has got anything new that they've been doing, anybody else out there? Any?
No.
Nothing.
No, let's get in.
No comment.
Yeah.
No movies, no TV, no nothing. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the fantasy finale and review. We're gonna start at the bottom. Let you guys know how our teams did throughout the year, some of the mistakes we made, some of the mistakes we're not gonna make next year, and overall what we thought about this. So, bringing up, no offense, the rear end is Bungie Publishing, owned and operated by Pinball7563, also known as Worthy Morgan. He garnered a just fascinating 53.2 points after starting off the year with over 30 points for Elden Ring. This is how this man's team went. Elden Ring started the year hot, like I said, with 30 points at a scoring and 95.3 on OpenCritic. He followed that up with Kirby in the Forgotten Land with 85 for 15. Total War, Warhammer 3 for 16.5 points. Bayonetta 3 at 15 points. Everybody out there is like, man, this guy did really, really good. Well, here's where it all went downhill for him, all right? Gotham Knights got him negative 1.1 points. Kirby's Dream Buffet, negative 3.5 points. Saints Row, negative 6.6 points. Dragon Ball The Breakers, negative 12.4 points. Scorn, only in negative 8 points. Pac-Man brought it back up, though, with a positive 0.8 points. Star Ocean, The Divine Force, with 1 point. Then he jumped back out there with Shovel Knight Dig for 10.7 points. Then the Dark Pictures Anthology, 2.3 points. Sonic Frontiers came and surprised all of us, honestly, and got him 1.5 points. Then his counter picks bit him in the ass once again at Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope with negative 15.5 points. And still no word on Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot. So that was his year in reviews, bringing his total to 53.2. Worthy, what went wrong, man?
Well, what went wrong is I didn't pay attention at all. I didn't add any games or anything throughout the whole thing, basically until I think September. Was probably when I added, and I did it in all mass rush to try to play catch up, and it didn't go good at all.
It definitely did not. I can say that for a ifto fact. So I guess it's kind of a mute point asking you what you're gonna do different next year. But I guess I'll go ahead and ask you, what do you plan on doing different next year?
I pay attention throughout the whole thing and not add as the year goes on, and definitely pay way more attention and probably not use. I think the reason I chose Mario and Rabbids because I'm still a little touchy about them never making a Mario RPG too, because
I mean, they did. To be fair, it was just a long time ago. At this
yeah.
point.
Well, no, they did, but they never finished it completely.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Point to you, sir. One more point. So 54.2 points now total. All right. And now the actual battle that took place. Down to essentially the wire. And the third place person got let down by a couple things towards the end of the year. So coming in at third place, fighting for his dear life at the end of it to get that second place. The Game Pass Publishing, owned and operated by the Birdman himself. This is how his year went. With the first pick in the draft, he for some reason picked Nintendo Switch Sports, which got him 1.1 point. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga then brought his team up with 11.7 points. Splatoon came in with a splash at 12.9 points. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, foolishly counterpicked by Worthy Morgan, got him a positive 15.5 points. Mario Strikers Battle League got him a paltry 3.1 points. Dune Spice Wars came out, but I guess doesn't get enough to review or doesn't qualify for review. He's not at all salty about that. So 0 points on that. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet disappointingly came in and got a 2.2 points. Evil Dead the Game, 3.9 points. Sports Story, no word on that, so we're moving on. Live Alive, Live Alive, however you say it, 10.9 points. The Last of Us Part 1 came in smashing it as his highest scored game with 18.3 points. Evil West came in and got a 3.8 points. Destroy All Humans 2 Repro disappointingly got him negative 1.8 points. High on Life then came in and I think a little bit unjustly got him 0.9 points, negative 0.9 points, sorry. Then Marvel's Midnight Suns finished out his roster at 12.1 points, and his counter picks both did not get released, so 0 points for Redfall and 0 points for Skull and Bones. So Mr. Birdman, you were fighting to the very end. You had hopes and dreams of coming in second place in our first year of doing this. Unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition for you. So what do you overall think, man? Also, Worthy, please mute your mic. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
You did. So let's see. Man, this was a disappointing year. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of my own fault, especially with some of those early picks. I don't know why. I mean, we kind of know why I did it, but I shouldn't have invested so hard into Nintendo, especially when it comes to Nintendo sports games. Never do that, and I did, and I regret it. But I mean, I was getting that good comeback. I was getting close to second place, and then I invested a lot of my money into Pokemon. I mean, I put like 40, I think, of my $100 down on Pokemon because I wanted it and it looked good and it looked like it was going to score very high. And ended up being very disappointing. And as soon as I seen that score, I'm like, yep, I lost because it was supposed to gain me a lot of points and it ended up not doing that. And then also, strangely enough, I'm pretty sure Destroy All Humans used to be only -1 point, but I guess it kept going down. Um, and then High on Life, I really don't agree with, but whatever. It's just, I guess I get -1 point for that.
Well,
But yeah,
what happens is that at the end of the year they actually give you like the full tabulation of the points, so it breaks it down via the actual blank point blank thing. So I think you did have -1 points, but then when the actual tally broke down, it went up to 1.8. So
dang. But yeah, I'm also kind of sad about two things. Firstly, for a sports story, just never released, so that sucked. And never even got an official thing about it being delayed either. So it just kind of didn't come out. And then Dude Spice Wars, especially, I kind of wanted that to get a score because everyone was making fun of me for putting Dune Spice Wars on there, and it ended up being a really good game. I mean, heck, it made it into the Game Awards, so it definitely is a really good game in a lot of people's eyes. And I'm pretty disappointed in the fact that it only went to early access, and I guess it doesn't count. So that kind of sucked. But I'm actually really happy that Redfall didn't come out because I feel like I definitely got negative points for that. And I think this is a good learning experience. Next year, I'll really look out for the games that truly I believe are going to be a negative, like Skull and Bones. If someone puts it on there, I'm just letting you know I'm going to go after you. You're going to be one of my counter picks because that's going to be easy points, in my opinion. But
We'll
other
see.
than that,
We'll
man,
see.
it's gonna be difficult because it's pretty hard to really gain points when doing counter picks because the game really has to be bad, like really bad, in order to gain any points. I feel like. So, yeah, next year I think I'm gonna research. I'm gonna try to find more weird games or games that have a cult following and maybe even those re-releases that come out. I mean, those are easy points in my opinion. But next year I'll be ready. So
yeah, counter picking really is a balance of trying to score points, but also trying not to lose points at the same time, which I guess does the whole mechanic behind it. But like, you don't want to lose a lot of points, but you want to also try to gain some points here and there. So it's an intricate balance between picking them. I guess I got a little lucky, or Worthy got foolish with picking the game, but I scored quite a few points on my counter pick. But we'll get to me in a second, because ladies and gentlemen, coming in with a silver trophy, he fought, he clawed, and he made his way, and he took a little bit of advice from yours truly here and there along the path. Useless Trivia Incorporated, owned and operated by none other than Thor Kagi himself, has gained the silver medal in our first Fantasy Critics League. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how his year broke down. He started off absolutely on fire with Horizon Forbidden West, garnering him 18.3 points, his highest scored and rated game. Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot, still no word. No one knows if that game even exists anymore, so I guess we'll see you next year. Ghostwire Tokyo then came out and actually got him a respectable 6.6 points. Tunic blew the world up and got 15.4 points. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, while we enjoyed it, did not set the critics on fire at 5.2 points. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, a game we might be talking about in our XP Awards episode here shortly, got him a surprising 8 points. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 almost was his highest scoring game, but just 0.3 points under Forbidden West at 18. Then Sniper Elite 5, a surprise pick by him, got him 8.3 points. Weird West came out and got him 5.5 points. And then Skull and Bones, well, it's never coming out, so hopefully someone doesn't pick it next year. Sons of the Forest also, unfortunately, got delayed towards the later half of the year and got him 0 points. Warhammer 40k Darktide got him a surprisingly low 3.9 points. Need for Speed Unbound came in and got him 5.7 points. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, you're welcome for this one, got him 10.2 points. Somerville, unfortunately, did not score high enough to get him anything of need, but he didn't need it, so 0.6 points there. His counter picks, He only gained 1.1 point off Gotham Knights, coming off a Worthy's pick of it. And then Sonic Frontiers, also Worthy's pick of it, surprising us all, went positive and scored Worthy. DJ, Jesus, a negative 1.5 points. So, Mr. Silver Medal Trophy yourself, how did your year go, and what do you overall think, man?
I mean, they're not on here because I dropped them, but my 2 drops were both games that I believe come out for sure this next year, and should score high. So fingers crossed I can get them, and they do come out this next year, because those were both, I think, projected like mid-80s games. So I mean, I still wouldn't have caught you, but it would have been, a little bit more of a run for your money. Like I said, Skull and Bones, that was, hey, it's going to come out, and then 3 days before it's released, yeah, never mind, it's not coming out. Same with Sons of the Forest. Advanced Wars was like, yep, it's going to come out this date. Actually, it's going to come out this date, and when I just saw the ad again for GameStop, they have it as December of 2024. So yeah, that's very disheartening. Not that I went very indie, but I mean, like Sniper Elite I picked that because I've loved all those. Ghostwire Tokyo look interesting to me. Tunic look interesting. It's actually on my wish list for this year. And the couple that got stolen out from under me are really ones that didn't do too much better. I mean, you took Stray for me and 2 Point Campus. Cult of Lamb, like that would have put me right up there with you. I'm very glad that Logan stole Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and High on Life from me. So that worked out great. I've already kind of started picking and putting in my pocket like what hopefully I can nab next year. And hopefully Logan goes heavy Nintendo again and leaves.
Screw that, man. Never again.
That was like
The
in my
competitive
head
spirit is alive.
when we drafted. I was like, I'm gonna go heavy Nintendo because I didn't think anybody would. And then Logan started going heavy Nintendo, and I was like, like maybe I'm just like I don't know if we both thought like they were just gonna be bangers, and I knew Mike was gonna focus heavy on PlayStation games or PlayStation exclusives, or some of those JRPG games that none of us really are into except for him. And then like yeah, my biggest mess up was probably, well, Darktide scored low because it's not a complete game yet, so that was a letdown. But I mean, other than that, I pretty happy overall. I mean, some games I feel got slighted a little bit, but I mean, and like with the counter picking too, like I feel like it's hard for a game to not at least hit 70. I mean, we only had Gotham Knights, the couple Kirby games.
I was gonna say, well, ask Worthy because he figured out a way to find them.
Somehow one of your games did hit 70, which I'm pretty sure that's got to be up there for letdown of the year. Other than that, like, yeah, I was pretty happy with it overall. Little worried for a bit that I was gonna fall into third place, but Crisis Core, which I had sent you a message about, Crisis Core and Ogre something or another, and I already picked up. You were like yes on Crisis Core, and then you didn't get back to me right away on the Ogre one, so I picked up Somerville, and the Ogre one would have, I think, ended up being like 10 or 15 points. So that was, you win some, you lose some, but definitely looking forward to next year, and fingers crossed get that first pick, and maybe we'll see if Hogwarts Legacy can redeem itself, since I had to let it go this year.
Why don't you be bold and just pick Skull and Bones first pick since you're so confident on it?
Yeah, like you were this year.
At this point, Skull and Bones is going to be. I'll make sure I save a spot for it, and if they say, "Hey, it's going to come out this date," I'll try to pick it up that week before, and that's about. Run with it.
I want you to save a spot for it. I really do, because the moment it goes onto your list, it's
Oh,
going
I
straight to
know.
my counter
Yeah.
picks. I'm
Yeah, dude.
dumping all my money in
Easy
it.
counter pick. Yes.
All right. Well, I do want to defend myself a little bit here and say back down, DJ, because I only have 2 PlayStation games on my entire list, and I have 3 games synonymous with Game Pass launching on Game Pass. So I'm going to say back the F off, brother.
Well, I figured you were gonna go more heavy PlayStation. Then you ended up. I mean, your only 2 are what? Gran Turismo and Ragnarok, right? Are the
Yeah.
only 2?
Well, I guess
And
technically Moss, yeah, so I got 3. Snuck a VR game in there. Oh, yeah, and I got Stray. Never mind. So I got 4. Never mind. I
yeah,
lied.
it's
Well,
straight.
wait. Moss is on also Meta and all that
Oh,
as well.
cool. So, yeah,
so it's
just
not
3.
just PlayStation, no.
Just 3,
Stray,
yeah. Cool.
Stray and 2 Point Campus were the 2 biggest ones that you that not really sniped because I blew all my money like off the bat. Same with Cult of Lamb. I'm pretty sure you literally only had to put $1 more than I had total, and it was yours.
Oh,
Because
Cult of Lamb, I 100% sniped. And I sniped the Corey from Logan because I waited till he added it, and then I just went with more money because I knew I had it. Welcome to corporate America, folks. All right. Speaking of me and my team, ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud and very happy to admit taking home the gold trophy, number 1, first place, Super Bowl champions, World Series champions, and those are the only sports that matter. WWE champion. There we go. We'll throw it in for the boys. Coming in with a separation of 63 points from second place is the Ponyboy Studios, owned and operated by none other than yours truly, DJ Ike, Mike Z. That's me. My number 1 game, my number 1 pick was my number 1 game score. That is God of War Ragnarok, giving me a shiny 26.5 points. Gran Turismo 7 got 17.1 points. Triangle Strategy, one of them RPGs that DJ mentioned, got me 13 points. Redfall disappointingly got delayed, so I got 0 points on that one. A Plague Tale Requiem came in 13.7 points. 2 Point Campus 13.4 points. Stray 13.8 points, keeping the train going. Moss Book 2 13.9 points. The Corey, my first real letdown of the year, got me 9.3 points. Then the Callisto Protocol, the real letdown of the year, got me negative 1.7 points. Overwatch 2, 78, so it got me 8 points. Cult of the Lamb, 14.3 points. Rollerdrome came in. I was expecting a little more from this one, but 9.6 points. New Tales from the Borderlands. I did not like it. Reviewers didn't like it, so negative 2.3 points. And Return to Monkey Island got me a crisp 17.4 points. Surprisingly, my second highest scored game. Then in my counter picks, Dune Spice Wars thankfully didn't come out and get released. Well, I guess it came out, but didn't get officially released. So I got 0 points on that. And then Dragon Ball The Breakers was gifted to me by Mr. Worthy Morgan, and that scored me on my counter pick 12.4 points, leading me to 178.5 points. And what I have to say, overall, a pretty dominating victory. Very Eagles-like so far. For those of you that understand the football reference, no, I'm just messing with you guys. It was fun. It was a great year. I loved it. Even if I didn't win, I still would enjoy doing this with you guys and hanging out. But I did win, so it makes it even more sweeter. So what do you guys have to say to me? You got any congratulations, thank yous from me, you know?
No comment.
I'll give you a congrats. I will say, good on you for the snipe in the couple games because you definitely, I feel, played the money the best way possible. And I will say, I feel bad that Callisto Protocol didn't do hot because that was probably, other than, I mean, Horizon and God of War, you were obviously hyped for, but like I feel like Callisto Protocol was the one I heard you talk the most about all year, and then it kind of fell flat.
Kinda? I
I mean,
wanna
it
correct
fell
you and
real
say
flat.
it fell
I
real
was just
flat, yeah.
I was trying to be nice.
I do have to admit I was very frugal with my money because I still have $25 in the budget.
I think I have 2.
13. You have 13. Logan has exactly $0.00 left, and Worthy Morgan has $59 left. Spent under half his budget. You know, very, very, very frugal. Interesting strategy. Didn't exactly work out for him, but let's see if it does next year. So, guys, overall, what'd you think? I did have an idea, and I want to run it by through you here live, so you can say yay or nay, and there's proof of it. How about next year? We do a little bet last place has to do something, and I'm hoping to have live video or the video up next year. So maybe, I don't know, what do you guys think? Maybe someone has to dress weird on video, something fun, and, put some stakes on the line. I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw some ideas out at me.
Sure, I think we could think of something, whether it's you have to
Definitely.
come on the podcast, because hopefully by then we'll have cameras up and running. So maybe you have to join the podcast for an episode and be, I don't know, cross-dressed or just look ridiculous, or maybe we'll come up with some sort of video game punishment of some type.
You got to play Skull and Bones.
Yeah. Oh, God.
All right.
No, you just have to buy Skull and Bones.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You got to buy Skull and Bones because it's probably not going to be free to play like it should be. All right. So in order, the final tally was Worthy. Last place with 53.2 points. Logan coming in at 92.5 points. DJ in third place. Second place with 105.5 points. And bringing home the championship for this year and hopefully next year is the Ponyboy Studios, me, 178.5 points. So, guys, what do you think overall? This obviously went well for me. I'm happy. But, what do you guys think about the experience overall? And are you excited about next year, guys?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. I thought this was really, really fun. Definitely some positive and negatives to learn from this experience of this year and playing this for the first time. I'm happy we're going to start a little bit earlier than we did last year, but we also started this podcast a little later last year, so we'll be ready. We'll start early, and I guess what was it? What was the may the odds forever be in your favor. So,
Yeah, with the 3 fingers in the sky,
yes.
I think it definitely kept me more in the loop, because the past couple, except for this year, the couple years before that, I would see, whatever the cover thing is on an IGN update or a Game Informer update or anything like that. I only knew about the 3 or 4 major games coming out that year. I didn't even know what Elden Ring was until it came out, and it was oh, okay, game of the year, holy crap. And I had only known about God of War, Horizon, Call of Duty, Pokemon Arceus, and then we got the announcement of Scarlet and Violet not long after that, and then I didn't know about Callisto Protocol. I didn't even know about Elden Ring. I didn't know about any of the Warhammer games. There were Stray. There were so many games I didn't know about that I feel like this was a great way to kind of get in the loop, I guess, as far as seeing what's going to come out this year, and maybe pay more attention to games that I normally wouldn't pay attention to or think about. I definitely am going to go get Tunic. You have definitely talked me into Cult of Lamb. I'm interested in Return to Monkey Island. I didn't get my Sniper Elite 5. I see stuff for High on Life constantly. I'll probably look into getting that. We had 13 games each, something like that. So it's
15.
All right, so that's 60 games total. And before we did this, I probably knew about maybe 6 or 7 of them coming out this year that I cared about originally. So definitely fun and a learning experience. Don't blow your money on 3 or 4 games off the bat, because then we had how many weeks that I had to try to stretch $30.
For information for those of you out there, I am currently cracking and pouring myself a glass of sparkling red grape in celebration of my victory. So, all right.
Calm down.
All right, Logan, man, what do you got left?
Well, are we closing this out? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Just, what are we doing overall,
Wait, what?
What are you thinking overall? Sorry.
What am I about this?
Yes.
Oh, again, as I said, I thought this was really, really fun. Thought this was it definitely did keep me in the loop, and I think next year I'll be a little bit more into it. I also will start off knowing the rules from the beginning. Cough, cough. But
Cough, cough. That was your fault. I told you the
you
rules.
did not, but
I
we'll
did.
say you did. We'll say you did.
I did.
But it doesn't matter. It's not like it really hindered much. Like we got it figured out. But now I know what I'm doing. Obviously, I think we're changing things a little bit, which we'll probably explain whenever we record the next episode of the fantasy. I guess it'll be fantasy 2023. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to do this again. I'll be more ready. Again, as I said, screw Nintendo. I will probably not do any of their games unless it's a Mario and Rabbids game. Then I will choose that because that actually gets me points. But I mean, yeah, it was fun. This is cool. Next year, hopefully, hopefully either get second or first because I almost got second, almost. But as I said with Nintendo, and I know Pokemon technically isn't a Nintendo game, it still pulled the rug under me and threw me off because I really thought I had it at least second place in the bag for a second there, and nope, definitely didn't get it.
All right, Mr. Worthy. What else do you have to say, man?
Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. It did help me keep in the loop on a lot of games because the past few years I really haven't been in the loop for video games, and it helped me a lot. And I'll be definitely paying more attention to it than this year. That's for sure. But I am really stoked for it and looking forward to it, and looking forward to taking home first place.
All right, well, good luck with that. I'm excited. I'm excited for the challenge. I'm excited for the competition. Got a little boring up here in the top of the mountain, first place. I was a little yawny towards the end of the year, but God, I'm such a prick. All right, guys, that was the end of the fantasy special. Those of you that have been listening and following along with it, I hope you rooted for me because you would be in the right fan base. Then join us next year, very early on in the year, hoping to sit down and record this the second or third week of January so we can get all the games in that we want to game in. Wait, that we want to get in. There we go. Any last words from any of you guys out there? Worthy, you're gonna be heading out. The other two are sticking with us to do the Open Critics battle. But Worthy, any last words, man?
No, nothing else. I'm actually sitting in my van actually right now with the laptop.
You're sitting in your what?
His
The van.
van.
You're sitting in your van? What does
Yeah,
that
I actually
mean?
His
I-
van.
drove here as we was doing this.
God, technology is so cool. that blows my mind. That is awesome. All right, man. Well, have fun with your kids. I don't know, do parent stuff, I guess. I'm not a parent, so I have no clue what goes on over there. But
Too much shit.
Again,
That's for sure.
all right, man. We will talk to you when we get the next one, all right? Or when we do the next one, all right, buddy?
Sounds good. See you guys.
See you, man.
All right, everybody out there, welcome to the Open Critics Prediction Battle Finale. The scores have been tabulated, the games have come out, the numbers have been ran and punched through the calculator, and we have a winner, loser, and I guess just participant. I don't know what you would call second place. But so, for information out there, Mike, once again, little old me, took home the win with 89 points. Logan scraped out second place with 74 points. And DJ bringing up the rear ass end at 66 points. You just need 3 more points, man. 3 more points and you gotta get the perfect score. What the hell?
Protocol.
For those of you out there that maybe haven't listened to one of our prediction battles, this is how the scores were tabulated. We predicted games based off their score, whether we got within 5 points or not. We started gaining points. Bullseye got you 7 points. If you were 6 points away, you got 0 points. And you can kind of guess how the rest of it goes. So what we're going to do here is run through the second half of our list that we did. Talk about the games, how they scored. Most of them were fairly disappointing in the second half of the year. So without further ado, let's go. On the first game that we predicted in the second half was Dragon Ball The Breakers. I predicted a 69. Heyo. DJ predicted a 67. Logan predicted a low end of 66. Neither of us were close at all because Dragon Ball The Breakers scored 57 points. What do you guys think?
Sad.
Yeah, that's taking it lightly. I really, I don't know. I don't know much about Dragon Ball Breakers, and I know, like most of this game of ratings predictions we did, we usually try to keep our scores pretty close. But yeah, I don't think I would have ever expected this game to go that low. Like
Like,
holy
Yeah,
I
I
I think the Dragon Ball mobile game that's like a fourth party game scored better critically than this did, which is like, are you kidding me? It's bad.
well, from its core concept, when I read what it was, this is one of them asymmetrical multiplayer games. So you have 4 people playing a map and 1 person playing a powerful villain, and I guess that in some way makes sense for the Dragon Ball universe. But when you think about the fact that 90% of the time you're going to be playing as these random civilians in the Dragon Ball universe going up against Cell, Saga, and the rest of the villains, that just sounded like it was gonna suck. I didn't know it was gonna suck that bad, but I knew the game wasn't gonna be good. So, I mean, from a core concept level, this game was busted as hell. So,
Yeah, I mean, again, I couldn't have told you how good or bad this game would have been because again, I'm not a Dragon Ball fan, so I know.
all right,
I'm
next.
sorry.
No, you're good. That's fine.
Yeah,
You're an anime fan now. It's you need to go back and watch Dragon Ball because it's absolutely incredible. Um, it's long, but it's incredible. So now you have the opportunity to see it again for the first time. I envy you, sir.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I'll never watch Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry.
I don't envy you. I smite you. All right. Next up was the Plague Tale. A Plague Tale Requiem. I predicted 84. DJ predicted 85, and Logan predicted 83. Y'all fucking Price is right at me, and y'all lost. Because guess what? It scored an 84, giving me the bullseye and 7 points. DJ and Logan garnered 5 points from each of them. So what do you guys think about this one? Are you guys gonna play the Plague Tale? I'm telling you, it's good.
Wait, you talking about the new one?
Yeah. No, the
You
old
played the
one.
new one?
No. But
Oh, okay.
I know Plague Tale is good because I played the first one.
That's fair. I don't know if I'll ever play this. Well, I don't know. It's the thing is, I'm not really big into the whole stealth only kind of gameplay, and that's kind of what Plague Tale's all about. Yeah, it has beautiful graphics, probably a good story, but gameplay also matters to me, and the whole, sneaking around all the time doesn't sound fun. Even with the sequel, it's the same. They added slightly some combat, but you really shouldn't because you're gonna get defeated very quickly. So it's not really a game about fighting. So that's where it doesn't interest me.
DJ.
I think I will give it a shot. It's gonna be one of those. I'll probably put it on my PlayStation list. And either when I'm kind of back to normal more, which honestly probably won't be till like the middle of the year next year. And with we got Hogwarts coming out. We've got, I don't even remember what all games were
A
just
lot.
announced. Yeah, like we're gonna be back into like a full swing of like a full year of games instead of a 2 or 3 here, a sprinkling here, and then like a huge release, like bang 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 right at the end of the year. Like we won't have that this next year. It seems like it's gonna be much more spread out, and there's already like my back catalog is already like huge for games I haven't even bought yet and games I'm hoping to buy in the near future. And like I'd like to have something to keep me busy on Switch. Like I've already talked with my wife about just being able to set aside the time to come up here and game a lot more. Which her and I budget wise are probably gonna be pretty tight next year. So that means no more, just going out and random adventures on the weekend. So that means I will have more time to game. So looking forward to that. And yeah, I think I definitely will put that on there, put that on the wish list for a rainy day, because I need a stealth game back in my life because I mean, Sniper Elite, yeah, it can be stealthy because you're a sniper kind of sneaking through enemy lines and picking your shots here and there. But I mean, hopefully this next Assassin's Creed will really get us back to basics with sneaking around and being stealthy. But like I feel like we really haven't had a a sneaky stealth type game, at least not one that's memorable to me in a hot minute. So I'm definitely looking forward to having something like that back in the game catalog.
All right, well, keep your fingers crossed with Assassin's Creed. Moving on now, Mario and Rabbids Box of Hope was our next prediction. It got an 85. I predicted 81. DJ predicted 80, and Logan, with absolutely zero faith in Nintendo at this point in the year, predicted a paltry 74 for the game. Surprising. What was going on with your mind here, Logan?
Well, I honestly, again, as I said previously, I lost all faith in Nintendo. I probably shouldn't have because this game actually looked. Well, I guess I said it. Every one of them looked good, but this one looked really good. I don't know where my head was at this point. I don't know how I went so low. Like 74 was, I think, a bit too aggressive. I don't think it should have. I should have put it that low, but yeah, that's why. I think I just didn't trust Nintendo to score anything higher than somewhere in the 70s.
Fair enough, I guess. All right, the next game, New Tales from the Borderlands, came in at a 68, rightfully deserved. However, predicted a 79. The boys followed along with me on my path of just woeful ignorance. DJ predicted a 77, and Logan predicted a 78. Looking back, obviously you guys would have changed your scores, but do you remember if you just followed along with me, if you believed me, or did you actually think it was gonna be as good as y'all thought it was?
What was it again?
A New
New
Tales.
Tales.
Yeah.
I was hoping for it to be good, honestly, more than anything. I think even when we were recording that episode, I told you, I hope it's good. I hope it's in the 80s, and clearly it scored way less than I expected. And honestly, it kind of was what I was expecting, since I told you my feelings about how this game just didn't look as good as the previous one, and the story and the characters just don't seem that interesting, which is the whole point of the game. And I'm kind of sad I am right that it was bad or not great, but
I am
I
also
wanted
very
it to
sad
be
you're right.
better. Yeah.
DJ, what you got, man?
This was one I didn't. The art style of Borderlands games, it's that, and kind of even it stretches to like the Telltale games. Like, it's not my favorite style because it just. I don't know if it's the old art major in me or what, but it's not overly appealing to me. So like I feel like it always is going to take away from the story for me. Like, but that being said, I knew the first one is like Borderlands 1 and 2 are like people's like it's got a huge following and a huge community. Like it's just like not otherworldly, but it's one of like not quite a Mount Rushmore game, but it's like it's got a pretty solid following. So like you scored it up there and it was like, yeah, it's a Borderlands game. It's not really Borderlands 3 per se, but it's like a 2.5. So I figured like you scored it up there. I was like, it's got to do close to that. And then yeah, it just really kind of for especially a Borderlands game, it seems like it fell flat on its face, not even hitting 70, which like we kind of talked about in the last segment with Worthy, where like it seems like you have to try to not get at least a 70 in gaming nowadays. So yeah, that was I kind of just I knew it was going to be up there, but I thought, I'm going to try to undershoot you by a couple points, maybe snipe a bullseye from you, and then none of us were even close.
Speaking of none of us being close, the next game, unfortunately, Logan kept trying to tell me. He kept trying to tell me. I didn't want to fucking listen because I don't want to hear it. But anyway, Gotham Knights came out, got a 69. Hey yo, I predicted it at an 82. DJ predicted it at a 78. Logan predicted it So sorry, DJ predicted at an 80. Logan predicted at a 78. Logan, any reason why you went as high as you did with this?
I was at least hoping it to be, semi good. I wasn't expecting greatness from this game, even from the gameplay and everything. And I thought critics were gonna at least like that it's Batman universe and that the characters are semi interesting and maybe the story was actually good because I did hear a lot of like hype about the story being actually good. Uh, and then it came out, and even I was wrong because he clearly scored a 69. Heyo, and it was just very bad. It's not good. Well, I guess technically a 69 isn't bad. It's slightly above average, but it's just yeah. I mean, I kind of wish I did score it lower, but I feel like I was even 78 was like probably around the area I was expecting it to be honest.
All
But I
right,
guess that's the whole point of the game.
yeah, fair enough. All right, next up, Scorn. I knew this wasn't gonna score well. I don't know why I went as high as I did. I should have gone lower, but Scorn got a 69. Another Heyo. I predicted 73. DJ went on the high end of 78. Logan went on the 76. So, Mr. DJ, what did you see in this, and why did you think it was gonna go so good?
I don't remember. Like if this was just one that
Fair enough, I
that
guess.
I don't even remember what is Scorn even about. I don't even remember.
Scorn is a first-person shooter where you don't shoot and you solve puzzles.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
Like it had a very unique style too, because it's like really grotesque looking game.
Maybe
It's
I thought it was gonna be kind of an out of left field, and it was gonna, with. I mean, obviously the biggest first person shooter of the year was gonna be Call of Duty. So I think when we kind of went over what this was about, maybe it was just my own like I enjoy puzzle games, like stuff like that, and that mixed with a first person shooter sounded, intriguing, and I thought, that might jump out at like real game critics. So I thought, maybe this has a chance, like a shot in the dark to just kind of surprise us all. And then yeah, like
Well, I just want
it's
to tell you
off.
this, DJ. No one knew it was a puzzle game.
Yeah.
So literally no one did. Everyone literally seen this game, all the gameplay, everything, and nothing showed that this was mainly a puzzle game. So that's
Yeah.
why it scored so badly.
Yeah, which it's one of those. In theory, it sounded good, but then like the marketing was just god awful, and then it fell flat as a result. And it's like, it's there not much more you can say about that.
All right, well, in that case, let's move on. Star Ocean, the Divine Force, got a 73. I predicted a 74. DJ predicted a 76. Logan predicted a 75. They priced his rights me, and guess what? Y'all got fucked. So, I'm guessing you guys just kind of went along with me because I am the JRPG guy. So, I guess you can tell me if you did. But, all right, well, should have gone lower, chumps. Bayonetta 3 came out, got an 85. Mike, also known as me, I don't know why I said my name, but I predicted an 87. DJ predicted an 89. Logan predicted an 83. It scored smack dab in the middle of both me and Logan. DJ was hoping for a little bit more. Then not a disappointment because we all really enjoy the game, but a disappointment in score. Modern Warfare 2 came out and got a 75. I predicted 82. DJ predicted 82, and Logan predicted an 83. So we haven't got a chance to talk about this hugely, but why 75, guys? What do you think's happened out there for the reviewers?
I really don't know. Other than I know there was obviously problems at the beginning. We all played it. We all experienced it ourselves, especially in the voice chat. And I know that the story wasn't amazing, but like, I really don't feel like this. I feel like this game got a little hit a little too harshly because like it's definitely not a 75. Like I feel like the gameplay and everyone that actually plays the game and the game for itself, notices that this game is phenomenal. I mean, I think Infinity War has proved themselves twice now with making probably the most I don't even know the best way to say it. It's like the most fluid shooting like controls and it just feels the best. Like probably the most brilliantly designed shooter games out there, in my opinion. Like I feel like when you play Modern Warfare, it really just feels smooth and fluid. It doesn't feel bad. It actually is very well designed. And honestly, again, like I think this is a very good shooter, and I think a lot of people that I mean, now I know the Call of Duty YouTubers out there don't like it, and the streamers because it's too different. But I think it was great. I think it was awesome, and I also just don't. And I know that, again, that's opinionated, but I think 75 again is a bit low. I think a lot of people kind of push this game in a rug because they're like, oh, it's a Call of Duty, whatever. But I think this is a really good Call of Duty. I mean, I haven't played a Call of Duty, enjoyed it as much as I have with this. I mean, heck, right now I'm second prestige. I've been playing the shit out of the game. I love it to death. Like it's very addicting. It's very fun. But what do you think? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think I don't exactly remember, but I think we generally gave the score game like an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10 when we reviewed it. So I think the game landed as good, if not better, than what I was thinking or hoping it was. So yeah, I think the score is not unjustly good because it's just opinions, but I think the score is way lower than what is represented in the game, and also way lower than what the vast majority of the audience thinks about it, outside of the fucking salty ass YouTubers out there, which I guess we're YouTubers in a way, but we're the good YouTubers, I would say. So, DJ, anything you gotta say, man?
Yeah, I think like I could see how they said some parts of the campaign kind of fell flat. Like I thought overall the campaign was interesting. It set up a third game. It set up, I've heard they're already talking about doing a game based mostly around Ghost, like to fill out like a backstory for him more. Better than Call of Duty Ghosts did. And like we talked, like Logan said, like our biggest complaints I feel like were the getting the voice chat to work, especially cross platform. Getting the menu is still very confusing. Like the first couple times I looked at doing Warzone, it literally was only showing COD or quads and trios, and then I like thought, you have to click into the stuff to go through like the multiplayer menu. Let's click on this, and oh yeah, here there's duos. Like, yeah, okay, now I can go do duos, and it's a lot less daunting to try to win a Warzone match when you're 1v2 the whole time as opposed to 1v4 or 1v3. So, like the menu system is still very confusing. The battle pass system is it seems like an unnecessary thing to be that interactive for the battle pass, but at the same time, you can say, hey, I want this thing more than I want these couple things. So instead of you having to complete the full battle pass, you can work your way around to those things that you want the most, and then kind of backtrack and work your way to the things you don't really care about. So like there's a lot of positives and negatives. I think this also felt the wrath of um Battlefield just being a turd in a box. Like I feel like critics really, they wanted to be blown away after Battlefield really fell flat on its face, and apparently they just didn't feel blown away, which I heard streamers and stuff say this was leaps and bounds better than Battlefield was. They're having like people are having fun again in Warzone. The proximity chat, like that's all my TikTok is right now, is highlights from proximity chat where people are zooming around on in vehicles, blasted music, and people making pacts and treaties through proximity chat or talking mad shit through proximity chat. Like I feel like this was way underscored. Well, not way, but I feel like it should have been a little bit closer to what we gave it, or what we guessed for it, being the low 80s. I feel like it easily should have gotten low 80s, and I feel like it just, like a lot of critics felt, how good could it? I think they went into it with a how good could it be, with it seemingly feeling like our like fifth Call of Duty game inside of 2 years. It kind of felt like, because we got, we had Black Ops 4, then we had Modern Warfare 2, and then it felt like we got um Cold War and Vanguard, like, just because of how fast kind of sort of the years have flown by these last 2 years, and how crazy the last 2 years have been. It seems like we got um Modern Warfare 2, and we had that in Warzone for 2020, and then it felt like 2021. It was like 2 months. It felt like 2 months into 2021 we got Cold War, and then it almost felt like a few months later it was goodbye Verdansk and hello Caldera, or whatever the hell the crappy map from Vanguard was for Warzone. Like, it just, I feel like they were trying to give it a crappy thing, and yeah, it just wasn't great.
Oh, sorry, I missed the mute button on my mic. But all right, Sonic Frontiers. We got a 72. I predicted 70. DJ predicted 69. Hey, yo, Logan predicted a 70. I think this game surprised us a little bit in how much better it did, although not much better. I think we were kind of in the right realm, but just a little bit better than we all thought. God of War Ragnarok is sitting at a 93 right now. Is floating at a 94, and then dropped, giving Logan and I the bullseye on it at 93, which we both predicted. DJ went above the original at a 95. It didn't quite reach there. The Callisto Protocol, well, don't know how much more we can say about these next two games, but the Callisto Protocol came in at a 69. I predicted an 89. DJ predicted a 90, and Logan predicted, an 88. Anything you guys have to say about?
You had me hyped for this, and that's why I want so much higher, because
I think everyone
your
was hyped
hype
for
was,
this.
your hype was so real. And once your hype was real, I looked into it, and everyone's hype was real, and then this just fell flat on its face.
Yeah, I knew that this game was really hyped. It looked really, really good. It literally gave no signs of being in any way, I don't know, mediocre or less than great. But I did also put it at a slightly lower score of like 88, because I feel like that's more commonly, if this ended up being great, it was more commonly, I feel like that's where it was going to land, because it was so new. I didn't think it was going to truly blow everything out of the water and be a 90 area, because like I feel like 90s are definitely in the top tier area, and I think Callisto Protocol looked great, but for their first game as a new studio, I feel like obviously it wasn't gonna, like, I think probably Dead Space is probably gonna get in that. I feel like more closer to the 90s, maybe the new whatever remake. But I am kind of really disappointed though, and I mean, stuff on this. I actually been watching the biggest YouTuber other than like PewDiePie and them. I've been watching Markiplier play it, and it looks like a good game. I mean, even my brother's been playing it. He said it's a good game. He's been enjoying himself, but it's just more the technical problems, the less than spectacular 8-hour campaign, and also that the campaign, especially towards the end, is just doesn't hit like people were hoping for. But someday when it does go on sale, and that I kind of, even for how much of a scaredy cat I am, do kind of want to pick up this game and actually play it. So maybe Last of Us Part 1 gave me some courage.
Hey, then right after that, you can jump right into Dead Space and Resident Evil 4. I can't wait for you, man. All right, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as we all know, disappointed pretty much everybody in the entire world. It got a 72. I predicted an 86. DJ predicted an 86. Logan predicted an 85. By the time you guys are hearing this, you already know my initial impressions on it. While those have changed a little bit, the game is still not a good game, because I just can't give it a good game because of how much is wrong with it. So we'll all get together later on and talk more in depth about that. Marvel's Midnight Suns got an 82. I predicted it perfectly with a bullseye at 82. Logan predicted it at an 81. DJ predicted it at an 84. All of us were right on the mark pretty much, with a couple points in between. High on Life, another pretty big disappointment for all of us. I predicted at 78. DJ predicted an 81. Logan predicted an 80. And so none of us got anything on that one. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion, Logan's big bullseye that actually helped him beat DJ in this. Pretty much the end of the year helped Logan really come back and make a big old push to get that second place. So yeah, what were your thoughts on this, man?
I'm surprised. I didn't expect to get a bullseye on that. I also just want to shout out, even though I'm sad about the high on life score, I gotta say it couldn't have gotten a more perfect score for the type of game it is. 69, dude.
That
Come
is
on.
fair.
Literally
that is
the most
fair.
perfect score it could get. Honestly, respect it. But yeah, no, I'm very happy I got a bullseye on this one. I had a feeling it was going to be at least around 80, but didn't expect it to actually get an 80 exact.
Yeah, I think the original has like an 85 or an 86, so I was expecting it to be exactly like that, but that's not the way the cookie crumbled. So, all right, the last two, the Devil Pictures Anthology. Wait, the Dark Pictures Anthology, The Devil in Me, got a 72. I predicted a 75. DJ predicted a 74. Logan predicted a 73, so we're all pretty much right on the head there. And then Goat Simulator 3, better than any of us expected at a 73 score. I predicted a 69, because why wouldn't I? DJ predicted a 65, which is confusing because he was actually the one that was excited about it. And then Logan predicted a 68. So, what do you think about Goat Simulator 3, DJ? Why'd you go so low, and what did you overall think about the OpenCritic predictions battle this year?
Honestly, I didn't think critics were actually going to take it seriously because it is a joke. Like, this is only the second Goat Simulator game, but it's called Goat Simulator 3. Like, the game is it's like a parody game. Like, and it's so hard to judge how you think critics, like people that are so hardcore about this for their job and their living, like, are they gonna, are they gonna take it as, a parody game, or like, because like even looking at High on Life, like, yeah, it's literally Rick and Morty voices, but it's still a crazy, wacky adventure. And Goat Simulator is really you just running around as a goat causing mayhem. Like, they're, I mean, Goat Simulator is more shut your mind off, and I really didn't think it was gonna like amount to indie game of the year or anything. And then it does above and beyond what I thought it was gonna do, and it was just like, oh, okay, like I guess Logan, or I guess critics are kind of gonna take a serious look at it. So I guess I'll know better for Goat Simulator 5.
Nice. I like it. All right. So I got some stats to read. I'm a big stats guy. I know DJ's a big stats guy, so I wanted to throw some things together for the audience out there. We got bullseyes, zeros, and each individual averages for points for each game. The amount of bullseyes I got was 4. Logan came in second place with 3 bullseyes, and DJ came in last place with only 1 singular bullseye. And that game was, if I remember, Multiverses. Nailed it
Yep.
at a 79. The number of zeros we each got, I got 11 zeros on the board. Logan and DJ were tied for 16 zeros. I'm hoping we can get that down, because there were a lot of games that disappointed us fairly massively this year, especially in that second half of the year. The averages for each of us per game picked, I got an average of 2.5 points a game. DJ averaged out 1.9 points a game, and Logan averaged out, just coming in just behind me, at 2.11 points a game. And then finally, out of the 35 games that we predicted, the average score for all of them was swimming in sevens, folks. 76.5 points per game, the average. So overall, guys, what did you think? Do you want to do this next year? Is there any structurally things you want to do differently, or did you kind of like the way that I had set up?
I kind of like this. If anything, add more stats, and it just makes things more interesting. Other than that, no, I think this is really fun. This is really cool. I think next year, I'm not gonna lie, we kind of start this a little later in the year again. I kind of like how the fantasy was, but I think with us starting maybe more early in the year, and I think I'll put a little bit more attention into it because I'm not gonna lie, some of these I kind of half-assed, and I just kind of threw out a score without really putting a lot of thought into it. But it kind of worked out for me in some of them, so maybe I should stick to that strategy. But other than that, I mean, this is cool. I like this. It's kind of fun. I kind of like both this and fantasy because it kind of keeps our eye on games coming out, keeps our eye on, it makes things more interesting throughout the year, and it's pretty much a game in itself. And you know how we are. This is the XP podcast. We're all about games. So hell yeah, I'm totally down to do it again next year.
DJ.
Yeah, definitely. Like this, it was fun too, just because like on some of them, like one of us might know more about it than the other, so we would go base off that person and just trying to snake that bullseye from each other, really going prices right on each other for a lot of them. Is fun. And then like some of these like Callisto Protocol or Goat Simulator or Modern Warfare 2, like some of them that were like it's got to do this, like it's gonna do this, and then just to be totally off base because it either crashed and burned or like with some of them it might have taken a hit from other games in the genre being crappy, just it or having too much hype to live up to. It just is interesting to see, and definitely more, I don't want to say hands-on than the fantasy is, but it's another great way to kind of keep all of us in the loop with all the games there.
All right, well, we will definitely be back next year with this. I enjoyed it. I like it. I like paying attention to games at all times of the year. But, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our show. Very short one. Everyone who has been watching or listening, we just want to take this time, as always, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Without your support, we could not be doing what we're trying to do here. But please help us continue to grow out there by telling everyone that you know who has the slightest appreciation for all things pop culture, that they have some new friends waiting to talk all sorts of fandoms with them. We would greatly appreciate it. Mr. Birdman, any last words?
As always, I mean, this is going to be our last episode of the year, and I don't know if it'll be posted before Christmas, but if it's not, I hope you guys all had a great Christmas or a happy holidays, of course. And as always, we do very much appreciate each and every one of you stopping by to listen. And as always, if you would like to give us any support, maybe give us a like or subscribe, or heck, even if anything, give us a dislike just to show you that maybe you didn't like this episode as much. But we do always appreciate the support no matter what. Again, if you have any comments or maybe any ideas for next year and how we can maybe change things up, spice things up a little bit, just let us know. But I'd also like to shout out our Patreon Platinum member, Logan Leffler. As always, we do appreciate your support each and every month. It does help us keep doing this. Yeah, I guess you guys will see. Well, I don't know if this again will be posted next year, but if this does get posted by next year, Happy New Year. If not, you guys have an exciting New Year's Eve, and we'll see you in 2023.
Yeah, if those of you out there want to be a part of our Patreon memberships, you can go over to the Patreon, like I said at the beginning of the episode, and subscribe to any of the tiers, those being bronze, platinum, wow, I don't even know my own Patreon. Bronze, silver, gold, and platinum memberships. You get a litany of rewards, including the exclusive individual podcast that we will start up next year. DJ and I will be bringing you the PlayStation exclusive episode. Logan will be bringing you the Xbox exclusive episode with a round robin of friends to join him, hopefully. TJ, any last words?
Yeah, great cap for the end of the year. Looking forward to seeing who has a shot right now at what I'm assuming is going to be the first pick in Hogwarts Legacy. We'll see. Maybe Logan, is just playing the con game on us right now, and he's going to go back to Nintendo. But look forward to doing this next year, and hopefully it's not a race to see who's going to get second place, and one of us can challenge you in both of these this time.
I hope so. I'm ready for the challenge. I like competition. I thrive on it. So I guess we'll see in 2023, guys. Once again, thanks everyone for listening and following along with us. This has been the final episode of the XP Fantasy Special for 2022, brought to you by all of us here, and I mean all of us here at the Experience Point. I hope everyone has a great week and the rest of your holiday season, and we will talk to you guys in the new year. See you guys.
See ya.